Oh my god. Alright, we're gonna try that one more time. So I played Korra a little bit. She's pretty fun. So let me explain my build, which isn't even complete by the way, because I don't have Umbra Forma, and because you think you're better than me, fuck you. But yes, so Korra, this actually literally none of this matters about it. This is like the only mod. This and this, everything else doesn't fucking matter. You can use whatever you want, right? So the actual build is Venari, right? So if you've the companion update made companions like actually viable, teammates, which is pretty cool. Before you only had like specters, right? Specters were pretty useful. If you guys know, if you've played Warframe, like companions used to be completely fucking useless to the point where the only pet people ran was this Smetica Vat because it gave you double resources. It was the only one that was usable. And if you want to use a Sentinel, you could use Jin because Jin didn't die. And then they made the Panzervolpaphyla, and it was like, okay, Jin fucking sucks. Just use the Panzervolpaphyla, right? And that was like the best companion in the game forever because it was the only companion that had infinite uptime, right? And blah blah blah. Yeah, companions are good now. That's all you gotta know. So Venari Prime, what does this thing do? So pure sense, tons of damage with where is it? Tandem bond, right? Tandem bond's really cool. Gives you a multiplier on your companion. Pretty cool. This also applies to territorial aggression because this is essentially a less consistent, more powerful version of duplex bond. If you don't know what duplex bond is, I'll just show it to you really fast. Duplex bond isn't a bad mod, right? It's not bad, but it's also not. I wouldn't say it's good either. I would say it's more effective for the crowd control it provides and the extra what do you call it, armor strip, because these guys can armor strip, right? Of all the things that it doesn't work with, they does work with vicious bonds. So you know what? It's cool. And they do get buffed by this. I'm like 90% sure they do. They should. If they don't, then that's kind of bullshit in my opinion that they don't. But yeah. So first going over Venari, right? So your big way of doing damage is going to be her attack posture. And while I'm here, let's go into fucking Simulacrum because oh my god, yo, by the way, you need a boyfriend who looks like this? Hit me up. But yeah. So let's go to Simulacrum and I'll show you guys how this works while I respond to a text message because my content is just incredible and it's very high effort, so high effort that I've been uploading unfinished builds for the past like 3 uploads. Okay, but like the thing is, the builds are done in my brain. The problem is I don't have Umbra Forma, and I've been trying to fuck around Arcane Persistence, and I feel like Umbra Forma is like makes the best version of those builds, right? So let me show you how this works, right? You go here, go bam, bam, and then you wait about a second or two, viral proc there, or there's an armor strip, and then bam, there they go, dead. Pretty sick, right? And that's without tandem bond, which is, by the way, it's multiplicative with Summoner's Wrath. I want to say it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, so with obviously you're going to do a lot more damage when you have tandem bond up. I don't feel like showing you that because then you won't be able to see. They'll probably just get one shot, right? And we don't want to show that, right? We want to show what the things actually do. So the build, we're going with a toxin build. The reason why is because I want to use anabolic pollination, and if you use this with any other element, it's going to combine the element, right? So if you want, you can go with gas. You can go with like a fire mod, go with gas. But if you go electric, you'll get corrosive procs. If you go with fucking you get what I'm trying to say, right? You want the toxin dot, and toxin dots are really cool. So toxin dots are really good against enemies without armor, and because we're gonna be armor stripping, nothing is gonna have armor anyway, so it's pretty chill. We're using Zener just so we don't have to worry about energy because I don't have any energy economy on this build because I didn't feel like it. That honestly, that's it. I just didn't feel like it. We're using Zener. I want to use. I'm not gonna lie. I upgraded the Tauron strike, and I literally have not used it. I've used this maybe like once or twice, and I feel like stupid because I spent like 2 hours in that fuck ass game mode to get this. I didn't. The only one I don't have is Naramon. Does anyone actually ever use Naramon? Because someone explained this to me. I feel like Naramon is like the worst tree, and it's not even close because it doesn't even do anything, right? Because I feel like melees are like already good enough on their own, and these don't even make them that much better. like TBH. So like, why would you ever use like Power Spike is completely useless nowadays. I feel like, especially because everyone just uses heavy slams, right? Like, it's just not worth it. Plus, melee crescendo exists, so it's like, what do you need that shit for? Yeah, ignore that there's no Incarnate, then I have a Riven, and then I'm waiting until I get the Magistar Riven because fuck DE and it doesn't come back for 3 more weeks. Yeah, so, Venari Prime, how does this work? You see, I use the Snare. So the Snare does a lot of damage, which is affected by Power Strength, which will on this build will have 200 Power Strength once I get my Umbral Intensify, right? Fuck Forma. So, um, Summoner's Wrath is a universal faction damage multiplier, which double dips on our what do you call it, dots. So it's like a what is it? I don't know. It's a big multiplier. It's like a 3 point something, and that's also multiplicative with status damage, which is why we run immunity resistance for more status damage, right? So Venari does a pretty good amount of damage. It does a lot more with Fear Sense. Fear Sense gives you so much more damage. You see, Kavats have a lot less base damage compared to Kubros. Like, if we go over here to our Pharaoh predasite, this number is actually higher than it says. It's actually 13,000 because I just polarity issues, right? I haven't finished the build yet, but you can see it's that with our actual base damages, it's 13,000, which is pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. You can see here, high crit, ridiculously high status. This is how we get so many toxic procs. Also, the reason why I wouldn't recommend even trying to run something like gas for the AoE is because gas caps out at 10 stacks, right? You can see here, we'll go over to our dudes. We'll just show you how many toxin dots we're going to be having on these guys. It's literally just not worth it. Like, here, go over here, that on you. You can see we're already at like 20. Yeah, you see it's not worth it. It's just not. We're going to lose damage, right, going for that. So it's stupid, right? So, on Jesse Velez, don't ask why his name is Jesse Velez. When I was 17, I thought it was funny to name all my Kuberos after To Catch a Predator guys. It's still kind of funny. So, this build. So this is going to give us the occasional viral procs. It's honestly, one viral proc is more than enough. If you don't know how the viral damage thing works, the first stack of viral is the highest percent increase. So all you really need is the one viral. So that's all you actually need. As long as you have one, it's already enough of a damage increase that it'll help you break it'll get you way more damage, right? This is for even more toxin percent because I wanted to do that. Duplex Bond, Vicious Bond help with armor strip more, Tandem Bond, shit tons of damage, Mecha Recharge for the Mecha set, Contagious Bond for more status spikes. This is just in case which either one gets the kill. I don't know. I actually haven't tried it with only running one of them with it, but I'm using it on both just to be like safe. I don't know if it's better to just run it on one of them or like whichever one's gonna get. I'd rather just put it on both and just be safe, right? I just feel like that's a better way to do it. Mecha Recharge just for Mecha set, blah blah blah, fetch, Resource Retriever, because why would you not use this? Prime Pack Looter. So the way we're gonna keep these things alive is you're gonna have a Sancti Magistar, right? And then you're gonna want to just swing that thing 1,000 times, like it's just a bunch. I'm gonna reroll this Riven more because I don't like it anymore. I'm talking really fast this video. Holy shit. Um, I just had coffee, so that's why. Fuck, what was I doing? So we're using Sancti Magistar because one, it actually gives you a 20% chance to ignore a stat spec, and we don't have any sort of stats immunity on this build, so this is actually really swag. Also, it gives you the healing on your slams and stuff, on your heavy attacks, which is good for basically keeping them at full HP, so we don't have to worry about having a maxed out Prime Pack Leader. We could just run it unranked and just get the overguard per hit. So we could just worry about, getting the extra, bullet to keep him alive, right? Venari build, territorial aggression, like, I don't know if I fully explained this, but it's basically just duplex bond, less consistent, but it's better. So, because this scales with everything. So it scales with Summoner's Wrath, which duplex bond doesn't. It scales with Tandem Bond, which duplex bond doesn't. It scales with basically everything that your Kavat would scale with, right? So this is just basically better, but less consistent duplex bond, right? I don't have Tech Enhanced on. If you want, you can take this off for Tech Enhanced. This gives you better uptime on Fierce Sense and Territorial Aggression. I just don't feel like using another Forma, I'll be honest. I just don't. I just can't be fucked. But honestly, that would probably be, because honestly, the slam damage, or that extra 1 point whatever, it's cool, but it's nothing like this. So on this build, I'm gonna have Blood Rush on along with I don't know what else. Probably cold mod just for viral for the extra whatchamacallit, damage against flesh. So I'll probably just end up doing that, right? So that would just be a bunch of extra damage. So yeah, I'm probably gonna end up doing that on this build. If you don't know how this works, basically how we're gonna get the 12x at all times. I already made a video on this, but I'll just explain it really quick. So melee crescendo, finisher kills, super easy. Bronco Prime, dizzying rounds, use this, just bam, and then you just do a finisher, it dies, right? Really cool. So that's that one. If you want, take off the cold procs because the cold procs will slow down the stun animation and will make it slower to get the finisher. But the cold procs are nice for whenever you want the CC. Right now, going to the dread. This is actually important, by the way. I have a ribbon plus crit delay. This is our stat stick for our Kubro. You might say, why are you running a stat stick for a Kubro? I thought they got rid of stat sticks. No lies. So Hunter Synergy, and then we also have, where's the other one? Mecha Overdrive, right? So what this means is we want the highest crit chance, highest crit chance in the status. We want to have both. So what I'm using is Dread Incarnate with the Elemental Balance Incarnate upgrade. So we get a ton of status. You can see it go off. It goes off this number, by the way. So we're gonna have 145% status and 220% crit. This will give us on our Venari 146 crit chance, right? Let me make sure that's the correct number. Sometimes it bugs out, right? And you are at, see, like right here, it bugs out. You are at 210% status chance and 96 crit chance. So basically everything's gonna be a crit. So really cool, tons of damage. Yeah. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to explain. Oh no, it's not. So I lied. So basically, if you don't know how Venari actually doesn't scale with the crit damage that well because um let's just get into it really quick. I'll show you why. So when you use your snare here, right? Snare doesn't actually use crit. So whenever that will go off, it won't use the crit. But I'll be honest, fucking is it? You see how much damage? Do you always want to be pressing 3 to kill every enemy? If you want to just not have to always press 3, if you want to just let it sometimes go off, or just like you don't have to like not run crit on it, right? It's also, by the way, it's 2 mods. Like, what are you gonna run instead? Fucking Radon Claws. So funny enough, so if you put these on, also by the way, the sepsis, not sorry, these claw mods, they don't work for some reason with these. So they still give you the radius, so it fucks up your status. Basically, is what I'm trying to say, and I think that's kind of dumb. So what that actually ends up meaning is, what are we gonna run here? Call of the Week is just not enough damage, in my opinion. Unless you're doing like a ton of status procking, which I'm not really gonna be doing because so many inputs, pretty much. But yeah. So unless you're using like I don't know, fuck. See my point? Just fucking put on the crit mods. Just call it a day. You don't have to. Yeah, it doesn't affect your snare, but it affects all the other normal attacks. So like it's completely fine. By the way, it's really not that big of a deal. So think I think we're good. I think I explained everything, right? Hopefully your ear holes were working, listen to everything. So, for Venari, you can do some cool things to pretty much help out your other companions. So on Venari, you can run Prime Animal Instinct. This does double stack, but I'll be honest with you, you don't fucking need it to double stack. You honestly, you fucking don't. Like it's having the enemy radar into fucking 3 other rooms is nice to have. Like I'll be honest, it is nice, but like you don't actually need it, right? Like when you play the game, right? You only have one primed animal instinct on all the time, right? Having 2 is nice, but like you don't need it. Like you honestly you don't. It's like I already play the game just fine all the time with one primed animal instinct. Why not just run one anyway and then save a slot on my other companion, right? And then on him, I run fetch, so this saves me a slot on my Venari, right? You gotta kind of like, you have to mod both of them at the same time. Like, so like say I'm gonna save a slot here for fucking one thing and then help out the other one with the other thing, right? So you can see like here, blah blah blah. You see what I'm saying? You gotta kind of mod it like that, right? So shards, I have crit damage for my Sanctity Magistar. And then I have some power strength, and then 1 cast speed. If you want to take off 1 power strength for more cast speed. And by the way, you can see here I'm running Summoner's Wrath instead of Mecha and Power. The reason why Like, yeah, we lose 15 seconds. We have another 15 seconds of downtime with Mecha Pulse instead of, where is it? I tried this one, right? So it's an extra 15 seconds and 8 less meters of range, right? But I'll be honest, I'd rather have the 75% permanent roar than have every 15 seconds the damage multiplier for Mecha Empowered, right? Like, yeah, this is really nice damage, by the way, but this is honestly, it's really pretty comparable. So I think it's still really good, right? So I'm gonna show you guys one more time what it looks like, and then I'm gonna call that a video. So we're gonna go here, bam, mark you. There we go, and then you can see there they go, right? Pretty cool stuff. It's fun. I'll show you which I think the damage vulnerability of Strangledome affects them. I'm not completely sure. See here, we'll do this. And then, yeah, they start going, right? So pretty fun stuff. Really fun. And one more thing I did actually forget to mention. So, because we don't have status immunity, if you get hit with a heat proc, your arcane assistance will be removed. So what you need is 1400 armor to not get this, effect. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So once you get the heat dot, it doesn't matter. You'll still have your persistence up, so you're not just gonna get one tapped, right? So Mecha Pulse is really, really important. This will give us the because as you see here, every 30 seconds, there's gonna be 10 seconds, about 10ish seconds where you're gonna have to worry about heat procs. So just be careful, rolling guard if it does happen. But in that time, you're not gonna have to worry about them when you have Mecha Pulse up. So once you just keep track of when your Mecha Pulse is gonna be up, and when it's down, just be careful. Watch the heat procs, right? Just don't get hit by the Jade Eximus or whatever. Just be careful, right? We also have the 20% status ignoring thingy from Sancti Magistar, so it's not that big of a deal. Just if you're not a moron, you'll be fine, right? Thermal Thunder Cold is good for some CC plus proccing the Vicious Bond for them, right? Yeah, ensnare for the violence, so you just ensnare violence before you can silence you, and then just one tap them, right? That's how you're gonna kill violence. So thanks for watching the video. This video sucks. Yeah, cool. Thanks. Bye.